Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
So you don't get out of it. You have to figure out what your life means to you.
I mean, the gift of self-awareness and consciousness in this universe is both heaven and hell encapsulated together. It's like the experiences that you have will determine the eternity that you spend. By that, I mean, back to the Alan Moore episode, not in any like afterlife kind of sense of it, but just to understand that every human being that's ever existed on this planet has existed in a state of cascading disaster and apocalypse. And it's true in our world today, everything is so interconnected that the stakes are much higher. But I just don't be paralyzed by this fear that you may live through the apocalypse or you may die in the apocalypse because, that's kind of a little bit narcissistic. Everyone likes to think that they're going to be alive when the world fucking ends.
Yeah, like you don't want to miss anything.
Everyone has always thought that.
Yeah, it's FOMO.
Everyone has always thought that, whether they're religious or not, because it's narcissism.
Yes. And the thing is, when you die, it will be the end of the world. So you're going to get it no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. This one is from Eric A.
Mayor of New York.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm a weed breeder out in Portland and looking at maybe getting some Chris, Matt, Felix, Amber strains going, crossbreeding some stuff that I have in house. Just wondering what y'all would like to have your namesake under. Effects, terpenes, etc. Anyway, looking forward to it. Later.
If you name any strain of that demon drug, that thing that is 400 times more potent than fentanyl after me, I will initiate a federal RICO lawsuit against you. Just kidding. Name the thing closest to mids after me.
Okay. This is a great question, Eric Adams. For the Medicaments, that strain of weed. Okay, I want you to crossbreed. This is very important. It's got to be indica, and I want you to crossbreed the strongest strains of indica that you have that are usually named after desserts. Girl Scout cookies, ice cream cake, things like that. Just make a dessert buffet, an ice cream sundae of indica strains that will be the strongest and most potent indica strain of all time, and that is the Medicare Mindset weed strain.
I will give on the other side of it. I would like a sativa so powerful that you gain the power of flight.
Oh, and also I'd like you to soak all of the flour in PCP.
Oh, okay. I've actually changed my mind. Instead of the mids, I think you actually do get arrested if you grow that. You can only grow scary illegal weed. I'd like a scared straight strain. I'd like a strain that makes everyone paranoid. Everyone think all of their friends hate them, and everyone think that they have cancer the second they get high.
Okay, for people who face that problem with smoking weed, they're like, "Oh, I smoked weed one time before I freaked out, or it makes me paranoid or anxious." Smoke more weed. You're never going to get better at smoking weed if you don't get back on that horse. So you can start out a little bit. Start out with just maybe one pull, or just a little vape or something like that. But you're never gonna get less scared of smoking weed unless you smoke weed every day.
The only way out is through
a
giant weed cloud that you inhale until you pass out.
The worst thing that could happen, okay, is that it awakens the latent schizophrenia that is in your family genetic history, and you kill your roommates, and you go to hell, and you're high the entire time.
Along those lines, is there anything lower than mids? Are there lows?
Swag.
Make mine lows.
Ditchweed. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a weed pussy at this point. I need the whatever gets me the same effect as 2.5 milligram weed mint.
Those are rookie numbers, Chris.
I know.
Gotta bump those up.
I would give anything to be a weed guy.
Oh, and shout outs to the Chapo fan from Boston who came to New York and brought me a pack of Big Poppy Sweet Slugger pre-rolled blunts. Big Poppy is no stranger to the power of cannabis. It's helped him greatly throughout his career, and him and Team Big Poppy has selected the finest flower cannabis experience for you to enjoy. And I gotta say, even as a New Yorker, I gotta give it up to Big Poppy and his wonderful blunts.
Shout out to that interstate drug trafficker, the uncaptured felon, who is responsible for dozens of deaths from marijuana psychosis.
All right, next question. This is from Mika W.
Hey guys, I've been shunned by several different resistance blue check lib friends that I have for listening to you guys because they say that you guys are the podcast that says the R slur all the time. And I don't understand why that is something that I've heard on several different occasions from several different resistance individuals. And I was just wondering if you guys had any commentary on that. And because why is that happening? I just don't understand.
Well, we used to say it,
Yeah.
and then we stopped, and it sounds like there was no point in stopping.
Seriously. What is the incentive structure supposed to be here? I think the last time we even said it was the Reign Over Me episode, like 5 years ago now.
Obama was president.
Oh, the bungler was in charge, for Christ's sake. If they're still out there calling for it, we might as well get our money's worth, honestly.
Yeah, we should
Better to be hanged for a sheep than a lamb. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my attitude about that.
Yeah.
But to the caller's question, look, truth is the only defense against libel. So, I mean, if your resistance blue check lib friends associate us as the show that says the R word, yeah, they're talking about Chapo Mark 1. We have stopped doing that because, I guess I just thought it wasn't a hill that I particularly felt, any great need to die on. But, like, if this is the way it's going to go, we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still say it in the group DM. I still say it in
Of
my
course.
personal life, but
it used to be a much more anti-TOS thing. People seem to have calmed down about that. You really could get banned a lot for it back in those times. I will both defend the word on just linguistic standpoints. I mean, moron, idiot, those were medical conditions. I went to our slur school briefly as a child. I've never used that as a defense. I don't like pulling out, my identity things and being like, oh, this is why I can say this. But it's true. I wasn't bite the teacher, that word. But I was that word. But it really sounds like it. Maybe we should break the glass.
break in case of emergency. But I guess my snappy comeback to questions on this is, what makes you more morally abominable? Using a churlish and the adolescent, insult. Referring to people of the different
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
Or as your blue check lib friends, failing to support universal health care. Done.
Yeah.
Next question?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
President-elect Wade is filling out his cabinet, and you're up for a position. What job do you want, and how will you use it to deliver the funniest possible outcome?
All right, President Wade, he's going to staff his cabinet with us.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that I am the only one here who could get the organizational capacity together to actually do something like that.
Donald Trump was president. I don't know if that job is really what he thinks it is. I think the job he's thinking of is maybe like chief of staff. The president could be literally anyone at this point. But let's say we're talking about like an old-fashioned type of president who actually can read.
All right. I think my position's obvious. I'm Secretary of State.
I think I was going to say Secretary of Defense, No?
No, I think I'm a diplomat first and foremost.
But you know how to fight, though.
I haven't trained in so long, and I don't know. I'm probably could get beat up by a lot of our listeners now, and I really don't like to think that it's true. I think that I have a diplomatic personality, despite what people may think. I'm friends with all types of people. Be they creeds, genders, or even amount of eyes that they have. Too many or too few. I think that the funny outcome I could deliver is a multipolar world of cooperation, bringing back the thing where the space station is Russian, Indian, American, Chinese, doing those experiments where we're like, what happens to old people when you put them in zero gravity? And generally making
teachers on space shuttles.
Yeah. Putting teachers on space shuttles so we don't waste astronauts. I really think I could deliver the funniest outcome, which is a world without conflict.
Well, I mean, you would lower the tension with Russia. Like, we'd start buying their natural gas and oil, and they would give us their sables.
Imagine that. Sables in America.
Let's see. What would my cabinet position be? I mean, look, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. I mean, are there any other marquee positions?
Press secretary. So you
Press secretary?
Here's how I would
Okay.
you. So you can yell at journalists all day.
That would drive me crazy, though. I mean, I would be press secretary, and my first act as press secretary would be to abolish the White House press corps, because there's really there's no news
It
being
is
made
pretty
there.
ridiculous that
Or
they hang
or
around
if you
there all
want
day.
to come to a press conference and be like, blah, 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 it's on New York Times right here, blah, blah, blah. Peter Doocy, Fox News. It's you will have an electrified dog collar around you that I can use to administer severe shock to you for any reason at any time.
I could see you running the White House press corps kind of like Kevin Spacey does in LA Confidential. You get $40 to give leaks to whoever.
Yeah, he's like, who's my Danny DeVito? They'd be like, Martha Raddatz is tripping the light fantastic with goofballs. Let's arrest her and get it on the cover of Newsweek. Yes, I guess press secretary, and I would just use it to harshly discipline journalists who they need to be so bad.
Any thoughts for you, Matt?
I don't know. Like, I think it'd be I mean, if you're talking about funny, like a treasury secretary would be funny because I don't understand or know anything about money and how it works or anything like that.
Yes.
So I could just like nod at everyone and get very nervous and like cry during briefings when they ask me questions. Like you get the cabinet meeting and they're like, where are we going with the where are we going with the debentures, or I don't know. I don't know, or I don't know.
I could be treasury secretary and then I could finally figure out how to pay taxes. Maybe someone could help me with that. Matt, what about director of the FBI? You could be like J. Edgar Hoover. You could get all the dirt.
I mean, it would be very funny to break into everyone's house. I mean, the thing is, you don't need to do that anymore. Like everything is, NSA could just look at your phone and have everything in your life in it. Like the black bag job has been rendered obsolete.
It really made me nervous thinking about the Bavarian Treasury Secretary. It really just upset me a lot.
I also, just in terms of doing things that I think would personally be funny, and because it would irritate both parties mutually, I would like to appoint Felix, specifically the ambassador to Saudi Arabia.
Ooh.
Saudi Arabia and Israel at the same time because they signed the Abraham Accords.
Yes.
I think I would surprise everyone with my friend making ability.
I think that's the thing, is that everybody would go and be like, wow, this is going to be a disaster. And then 2 years later, you're just like, we love this man. We love him. He is the most honorable Jewish person we have ever seen.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? The thing is, a lot of people have they have fallings out with their friends. I have the reverse. People hate me, but then they get to know me. And then they've transformed into friends.
Just so long as you can get a citizenship at the line.
I can. Why doesn't China build the line?
Seriously,
they can actually do it.
They're fucking up.
Yeah,
they're building ports and shit in Indonesia. Give me the fucking line.
Yeah,
just turn the top of the Great Wall into one giant city.
Into a mall.
Yeah, the Great Mall of China.
Air-conditioned mall.
Yes.
The Great Mall of China.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing where the Saudis they just showed off it looked like the beams on a dock? They were just it was just half a kilometer of wooden beams, and they're like, look, we're already building the line.
They also dug a hole. I saw them dig a hole in the desert.
It's going to be wild if they actually get that thing done.
That's never going to happen.
That is not.
That is maybe the least. It's like with everything else. It's everything Musk has ever promised. It's the thing to dangle in front of you to think, there's a techno future where we solve everything, and no, incorrect.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I think you guys are hilarious, but here's a serious question. I think the Gen Z right is substantially more evil than the boomers or the millennials. Can you seriously tell us how you feel about that generation of right-wingers? Seems like they're going to be a big problem. What do you think?
I agree with you that it is nauseating and disturbing to see how many of them are basically open Nazi cartoon pedophiles, and they seem to have made themselves into that. But I disagree with you that they may be more repellent in some ways, but I don't think they're scarier because they're all weak babies.
They have no access to anything. They live with their parents. They have no prospects for employment. They can't do anything. I mean, but that's a generalized phenomenon, and that is going to be the real interesting thing about politics in the future is how do people who have been from birth basically been acculturated into learned helplessness, supposed to participate in any kind of collective endeavor. And I don't know.
I think the thing that is closest to you and easiest to relate, just in terms of shared cultural affinities and understanding, is always going to seem the scariest. But I will never see like any nascent online movement as scary as like James Baker. I feel like we've seen a lot of the scariest things that could happen already.